That's correct. I totally agree with that. I love that point. So it's just like the question of racism. How do we deal with it? How do we exercise the demon? And that's not an an easy question to give an answer to. We can never answer the question of racism unless we are open to dialogue. It's just like the land issue we talked about earlier on. The land issue can never be resolved unless people are open to dialogue, to talk about it, to converse. But if we are not, then we might as well forget about it, forget about resolving the problem. So when it comes to racism, it's something that we learn, it's something that we adapt, it's something that we you know we go with it along the way, and we develop as time goes by. So it's first and foremost a misunderstanding of oneself before it be of another, and it's a culture. That's what it means. It's a culture that we adapt, it's a culture that we learn, it's a culture that we you know we embrace. But also, as it is the culture that we embrace, or we learn, we can never deal with racism. In other words, we can never resolve the problem with the same kind of a method. As Albert Einstein would say, no problem can be solved from the same consciousness that created it. you know and St. Paul would in the letter to the Romans, chapter 12, verse 2, if I'm not mistaken, that you know you cannot, in a way, indirectly, so that you cannot heal or return evil by evil. In other words, you cannot resolve the problem using the same method that created it. But the problem is, racism is something that is developing instead of being fading, and whatever you may say about that. So what do we do with it? How do we deal with it? How do we resolve the problem? Because racism is a problem. So I would say that all races are racist. That's what I noted in the new book, that all races are racist, but some races are more racist than others. That would sound like the seventh commandment in the book titled Animal Farm by George Orwell, that all animals